So what can people expect to experience and feel and takeaways and things like that? A couple of things. One of the foundations of our pedagogy and the culture of respect is Audre Lorde's theory of there is no hierarchy of oppression, right? Sexism is not more important than classism, and classism is not more important than ableism, and so on. The reason why we operate with that philosophy in the culture of respect is we believe it's the same dynamics that fuel all systems of oppression: fear, misinformation, stereotypes, prejudice, discrimination, and unequal distribution and access to resources, power, and privilege in the form of housing, education, healthcare, the judicial system, etc. If we're going to interrupt any of these systems of oppression, we need to address the roots that enable all of them. And I think that's why, going back to like how people can feel positive, like how is it that you're having these intense conversations about systems of oppression and yet people leave them feeling positive? The fact that so many other equity, diversity, inclusion initiatives that I've experienced, they focus on specific identities or just specific isms, for example, maybe just on race or things like the fact that we explore all systems of oppression in the culture of respect. It makes it so that over the course of this journey, the weaving in and out between included and excluded middle group identities, that's, I think, where the compassion and empathy comes from. That's different from other DEI experiences. Maybe this week I am as a male in sexism in the included group, but the following week is a Black person in racism in the excluded group. Then the following week is a Christian in religious oppression, I'm in the included group. And then again, as a disabled person in the excluded. Like the weaving in and out between these different systems of oppression between included, excluded groups, it creates a sense of commonality and shared humanity that I've never seen in any other form of education. And just to go back to the final point around like, well, what do you feel in the end, or what's a takeaway? Me personally, one thing I can confirm is the culture of respect. It's permeated every single aspect of my life. It informs my parenting. It informs my marriage. It informs my being a son, being a nephew, being an uncle, being a brother, being, my, of course, professionally. I mean, obviously for me, it did it in a very direct way in dictating that I wanted to continue to enable this experience for others. But in general, my relationships with colleagues, how I supervise people, how I am in relationship to my supervisor, there's not an aspect of my life that the culture of respect doesn't inform. And that, to me, is where the value in this learning experience comes from. It's not something where I'm learning this niche piece of information that like has this one contextual like application. You will see the culture of respect in every aspect of your life after you participated in it. And some of the most heartwarming testimonies to that throughout the years, they come directly from participants who've taken it.